Well, we're going to start, and I've got so much to talk about, so I'm going to go ahead and do our share screen and get us going here. And we're going to start off kind of in chronological order. So the place I want to start is with our call on Wednesday. So we have our North American Leadership Broadcast Wednesday at 7:30 Central for all of us that are in Central Time. So I just wanted to remind everybody to be sure you have it on your calendars and tune in to get more new information about whatever they're going to be talking about. And then I wanted to invite you to our meeting on Saturday. I know a number of you are going to be able to come. I wish Melanie lived closer. But
no, I wish I did.
And
but excited because Connie's bringing her daughter-in-law, and we're just really thrilled. I'm going to be talking to you about a few things that we're doing at the meeting, and I haven't given up hope we'll be able to record it and you can see it later. So don't give up on that. But I'm really excited about it. Okay, and then the next thing I wanted to talk to you about was this eye cream that you can see right here, and wondering who all has it and who's tried it, and if you have any comments about it.
Well, I'm using it, and I have a customer who ordered it yesterday.
Oh, great, Melanie.
Of course, it's only been, a few days since we got it, but I use it twice a day. I didn't even look at the directions to see because I kind of have bags under my eyes. I think it are rings or something because probably wearing glasses all those years.
Yeah.
And I still do a lot. So who else tried it?
I'm using it, and I really like it.
Oh, great.
Oh, good.
Good,
I can't wait to get mine.
Oh, it hadn't come yet, Connie?
Yeah.
Well, it may have, but I'm not at the house.
I got you.
The owner's there, and I sent her a message to try, because it's coming by mail, and I don't know if they've left it or it's there. And I was really hoping it'd come before we had to leave, but it didn't. So
okay, it should have been there Monday or Tuesday, because that's I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so it was a small package, although it was in a box. I was kind of surprised. I thought they might just put it in a padded envelope, but
yeah. That's how I got mine, and it was last week.
Yeah,
last week.
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
Last week, Monday or Tuesday, the 23rd or 4th, something like that.
Yeah, last week.
Mine didn't come until Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I had a notice mine shipped last Monday. So.
Oh, okay. I wonder if they kind of space those out.
That's what I'm thinking.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't know if anybody ever had this happen. But I ordered some of those Shaklee Difference books, and I tried to see if I could put it on overnight, not overnight, but 2-day air, and it didn't give me any alternative. So I called Field Support, and I think it was Alba that I got, and she said, "Oh, no problem, we can do that for you." And she took care of the cost, which I didn't expect her to do.
Whoa, that's nice.
Guess what? It took 6 days to get here. I got it today.
Oh, Melanie.
I've never had that happen before.
Oh my goodness.
I've never done 2-day, maybe one other time in my Shaklee years, but I thought 2-day air meant they got it to you at least by the 3rd day.
Yeah, you'd think so.
It should.
Mm-hmm. Well, glad you need to let them know, Melanie.
I know. I think I am going to let them know because I was waiting every day. I have all this stuff I'm sending out to customers, and it's sitting on my table, and my table's a mess. And I was waiting. I got the envelopes all ready just to add that to it. And I just came home from the chiropractor, and there was the box sitting on the table.
Wow.
My son brought it in for me.
Well, I'm sorry about that. It's kind of interesting how that happens sometimes.
So things being late, it might be because they're busy or something with all the excitement of the new eye treatment.
I had something exciting happen along that line. My auto ship order took me right up to my max for the month. And so then I started getting these emails that they couldn't ship it because I was over my limit, and I think it was the eye treatment that came right almost at the same time, and so that put me over. But the funny thing was, I got one of those emails today saying they couldn't ship it, and I'd gotten my order last Wednesday or Thursday. So I don't know.
Oh my God!
I guess they had mercy on me because I think the eye treatment, could put it over because I didn't have hardly any room left. So.
Well, that's not as bad as mine, Phyllis. Last month, and which y'all probably saw. I know Connie saw it. I was like $4 from being 4,000, and I thought I had figured it right. I never looked or checked it till the 9th of the month. I happened to look for something else because I was just sure I had it with no problem, and because I was close, and I just added what I needed, and I was $4 short, and they wouldn't change it. They said they would on the 9th. They finish up, they're finished with the bonuses, and they wouldn't do it.
Oh, Melanie, that is
the
so
joke was on me. I was so
gosh,
upset.
Melanie.
That's not fun. I know things like that happen. It makes you just kind of sick at your stomach. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I felt bad, but anyway, yours was a nicer
shoot.
story than mine.
Gracious.
Well, if there's a way to do something wrong, I've done just about everything you can think of over the years.
I thought that was only me, Connie.
Oh no.
It seems like it can happen, doesn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to ask y'all a question. It occurred to me that maybe y'all might like, or it might be helpful to get text reminders of things like the thing on Wednesday evening or our calls or anything else. And I wondered if anybody would like to get those.
Sure.
Yeah, I would like to, because I get crazy sometimes over here.
Okay, so like maybe
I don't think we can ever have too many reminders. So.
Okay.
Getting older.
Well, last night I was reading something and I was supposed to be on a call, and I looked up and it was like 5 or 10 minutes late, and I felt so embarrassed because I just got involved, So
Right.
Anyway, okay. So Connie, I've got your cell number, that 1001 number. And I know I've got Melanie's and Linda's and I have Ann's. Okay. So Leibert, are we on your cell number, or do you have a cell you want to use?
What are we talking about? My cell phone?
Yeah, so we can send a text message to you.
Yeah, it's my regular.
Okay, the 6372.
My regular phone number. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And so you could get text. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
And Tina, I've got yours. Okay. So everybody on the call, I've got yours. So, okay, I will do that. Okay. Then I wanted to ask if anybody worked on the challenge. I was so excited that we had such response last time. I didn't know if anybody had time to work on the challenge this week or not.
Well, you just heard my story about the books. I was working on that as part of the challenge, but I did have one meeting with one of my friends who had become a member, and I had to go over everything with her. So we went over all the household. I did the little demos like in the old days, and at least a couple of them. And she was impressed, and she got the, I did the youth on her back of her hand. And she's going to tell her daughter about that. I guess she thinks she don't need it, but her daughter's younger. And then she purchased the Enfuselle hand and body because her husband has some dry skin going on his eyelids. And I was telling her about Charles when we first started dating, had dry skin by his nose, right on the side of his nose. And he was always putting stuff on it. And he said it won't go away. And I said, well, try this. And he tried it. And he swears by it. If it ever comes back, he hurries up and gets it. And we keep one in the car, one in the truck, one in the house, or two in the house,
Wow. So that's just the hand and body cream you're talking about?
Yes, the Enfuselle hand and body lotion.
Oh,
well,
that's great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
It's really good.
That's a good story, Melanie. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Oh, and can I say, Phyllis, congratulations to Linda, because she shared the winning challenge last week.
Yeah.
With me. And I got my beautiful bag. If y'all haven't heard, Phyllis sent me one of those beautiful youth bags, the big one that you can put your things in when you travel. It's kind of net.
Oh, nice.
You've seen it in the website.
Well, good.
So it came perfect because we're leaving on the 13th on our trip, and I already have my stuff in it.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm excited because it's possible that Melanie will come close enough that we could stop and have coffee on her way. So I think that'd be so exciting. I hope it'll work out that way.
We keep trying to figure the highway, so we're taking a look at that.
I got you. Well, I know you have to go further north than we are, but you got to get there some way. So if it works out, I'm looking forward to it. That'll be great.
Oh, good.
Good. Okay. Anybody else want to talk? You don't, even if you didn't do the challenge, if you did something this week that you'd like to tell us about, any meetings or people sponsored or anything you scheduled up, let me know.
Well, I didn't
well,
get to
I
work on the challenge much. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that I had a new distributor, and goes to a small country church, and they were doing a ladies' tea little event, and they were going to people who had like their own business could set up tables, and she was running it, so she asked me if I would mind setting up a table, and it was for her, but which I was thrilled to do, and it was the sweetest time. It was a small country church, and they had a LuLaRoe representative there, and they had a style show, and there were people from, it was so sweet because women of all ages were trying those on and modeling them, and anyway, it was very sweet, and you got some really good leads out of that, really good conversations. Tomorrow, having a youth thing tomorrow night off of it, and so,
Nice.
but anyway, it was. I really enjoy doing those because, well, I'm not really good at calling up people and that kind of thing. But if you set up your table and people drop by and they say, "Wow, Shaklee, is it still around?" And I get to say yes. It's just, and it's always been at the forefront and still is. And would you like to see? And I put some of the moisturizer on the back of hands and things. Anyway, it was very casual. It was just a delightful time, and it was just a great way to get some leads without putting myself through the stress of actually calling somebody.
Oh, that's great, Linda.
But something else I'm very excited about it, and I just I'm getting 10 additional trip points for the PGV challenge.
Yeah.
This month, and I was over 250 over my base, and so I'll be getting
good for you. Wow.
10 more points toward the trip. So all I need now is 2 directors to actually get myself there. But at least I'm getting myself ready. I'm getting as many points as I can without, when those pop up, I'll be ready to sail.
So
that's awesome.
Linda got her third qualified distributor this week too. So now she's going to be getting her extra bonus money. So she's really hit it good. We're so happy for her.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's great.
She's got.
Well, it's not happening. It's not fast. I'll tell you. It's been stretched out over, but still, it's just nice when it all of a sudden kind of happens, and so. I'm grateful.
Really happy about that, Linda. Congratulations again. That's great. Okay, I wanted to go on and talk about something that's different or new or
no. The card number.
What do you call it about it? Where everything comes around, in a circle. Do y'all remember 10, 15, 20 years ago that Shaklee had a what do you call that? A napkin presentation. Does anybody remember that?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good. Yeah.
Well, we have one again.
Good.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah. It's really cool. And James was telling us about this, and we saw a little, what do you call that? A little video on it. And we're going to be talking about that Saturday at our meeting. And I'm going to work on making a little graphic of it too, to make that a little easier to see and everything. But I was so excited. I don't know about you guys. I think I've told you this before, but when somebody says that they're interested in building a business, I kind of panic because I really haven't been as comfortable knowing exactly what to tell them that we need to do. And so I'm getting more comfortable now. James has been working. Y'all know that he's a secretary or treasurer on the Masters Exec Committee, and he has been working with the other, what do you call those people? The other masters, that to develop a plan so that we are all kind of on the same page when it comes to presenting. We've listened to a number of Eric Worre's presentations and so forth, and what he says is that you tell your story, which we all have great Shaklee stories for how we got in. Tell your story and do your thing. And when he says do your thing, he means make your presentation, show them the video, give them the DVD, whatever it is that your company does to get people interested in the business. Well, we've listened to his presentations, but we don't know what the thing is. We never have exactly had a thing. And so I feel like we do now. It's not quite perfect yet. James says there's still a little bit of tweaking left to it, but it's a short slide presentation, but also you can do it just with the napkin presentation. And so we're going to be telling you more about it Saturday and then in the next coming weeks. But I think you're really going to like it because you can learn it easily and you don't have to even have any props as long as you got a piece of paper or a napkin. That's good news. You know, I was telling the group some time ago that the way we sponsored people in, the way we built our business was with a newsprint flip chart, you know, with a pen and drew the circles and things like that. And now when I'm kind of like you, Phyllis, when somebody wants to join or something, I have to look at and try to figure out how to tell them. There is so much stuff that we have now. Shaklee's done so good with all the computer things and everything, but I've been kind of working on just a simple way to present it again. Right. And this napkin thing, this sounds like a real good deal. Well, looking forward to it. Good. Well, I think we all want something that's really simple. And could I get somebody to tell me the main reason we want something that's simple? What's the main reason? That's right, Millie. You get the star. We want something that's easy to duplicate. If I'm trying to talk to Tina about how to grow her business and she sees all this difficult stuff, or I have to go through a big, huge, hairy presentation, she's not going to be real excited about doing that because she might think, I can't do that, or I don't have time to learn all that, or whatever it is. But if you have a single piece of paper and you can show a triangle and tell a story about the company and what's going on, and you're obviously excited because we all are when you look at what Shaklee offers, it's so simple that she can learn it and repeat it. I know when we were in Kansas City and James showed us, we talked about the triangle, you know, the ABC part. After we listened to him and then Linda and I made that little video, then when I drove on home, I stopped in Denton to meet with Becky, and I showed it to her, and it was really easy to do. And so I think those are the kind of things we need, things that are easy, but they're powerful. And I really think that that's powerful. So we're going to be showing you that and talking to you about that soon. Okay, let's see. I had one more thing I wanted to talk to you about. Oh, two more things. Okay, the next thing is right here. Can y'all see this? It says liver damage from supplements is on the rise. Linda brought this. Please excuse me. Linda brought this to our attention last week, that there's this article in Consumer Digest, or Consumer Reports, about the damage that's being caused by supplements. And apparently some of this, let me drag this down and see, some of it is permanent, and in the severe cases. And when I saw that, I felt sorry for the people that are suffering like that. But what was the second thing I thought? I thought, it will never happen in the Shaklee family, right? That's right. Never would happen to us. We can rest assured and feel confident that we're not going to have that problem ever with any of the products. And I tell you, if there's, besides the business opportunity, that's got to be the most exciting thing about Shaklee, is that it's so trustworthy and you don't ever have to worry. It's always safe. So I just thought that was very exciting. Okay, let's see. So I said I had two things, didn't I? The other thing was, I'll quit sharing. I think I'm through with that. The other thing, oh, for Pete's sake. I had it written down, everything written down, but I don't remember what the other thing was. Okay, well,
Phyllis, that liver damage report, where did that come from?
Consumer Reports. And oh, thank you. That was the next question I was going to ask you. If there went on the call, I'm going to try to remember ask in the future. If there's something on the call that you would like me to send you an email about, please let me know. So if y'all would like the link to that report, I'll be glad to send it to you.
Yes, please.
Okay. Sure.
That's a good
Yes.
one. Yeah.
Okay. I will do that because that, to me, that's just another thing that builds our case for Shaklee. It's dependable, and you don't ever have to be afraid to share any of that. Okay, so
Exactly right.
okay, anybody else have anything they want to share before we go?
This might be interesting. Oh, go ahead.
On that topic, I just will share real quick. I had recently changed my insurance, which required me to set up with a new primary doctor here.
Okay,
and I went to him for the first time, and he was very impressed with my blood work. He said, "Your blood work," his word, "spectacular." And I said, "Well, I take a lot of supplements." And he said, "So do I." And he's a DO. He's not an MD. And
Right.
he said, but he did tell me he recommends things to a lot of his patients, but he says a vitamin is a vitamin is a vitamin. And I probably didn't start off our relationship as well as I should have. And I said, "Well, I'm sorry, but you're wrong about that."
Good for you.
Anyway, I told him about Shaklee, and I said, that's a conversation we need to have another time. And he agreed with me. So I'll get him. I will.
Well, good for you.
You got a good start.
Yeah, we do kind of feel like we want to make sure other people know the truth, and sometimes it's a little difficult, but kind of he'll always remember you, and maybe he looks at your blood work and he thinks about that. I wonder if his is as good as yours.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
I would order some of those Shaklee Difference books and give him one of those, because it tells why we're different.
Why
it
we're
tells
different.
you all the
Right.
tests they go through and everything.
Yeah,
I gave him the website, instructions to the website for physicians, but we'll see. I think it's just a matter of, he doesn't really know me yet, and I like him a lot. He does believe in a lot of the things that we believe in, treating the whole body, et cetera, but he just is not informed about that particular topic, and I'm going to make sure that he is.
That's good.
We'll see what to be continued.
That's great. Well, Shaklee is an education business, isn't it? For sure.
It is.
Okay, Leibert, you want to go ahead and take your turn there?
Somebody, it might be along the same line, at a convention some years ago, there was a new kind of a thing hit the market that people were concerned about, that Shaklee didn't have it yet, and so they told him that, I forget, Scala, I believe, was the head,
Dr. Scala,
Dr. Scala, and so he said, rest assured that we know all about those new things coming up. Somebody may be presenting something, but we're not putting out anything until we have thoroughly checked it. And he said a lot of those things, there's a lot of hype about them, but they're really not doing any good. He said, we are always checking on all of those things, probably before we ever heard about it. But so it made us feel good, that Shaklee's on top of it, and whatever we have, it's gonna work, and it's gonna be safe.
Yeah, isn't that just exactly wonderful that we can know with great confidence that they're not behind times, and they're not caught flat-footed on these new products, because they've been reading the research and looking at things too. And I know I've heard before about some of these products that are supposed to be so great, but they didn't pan out, and Shaklee never brought them to market for that reason. So just another reason we can be proud of Shaklee.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think I've said everything that I promised you. I would send you the link to the liver damage article. I printed it out. It was 4 pages, real widely spaced, so it's very easy to read. And I hope that you will enjoy doing that. And I think that's all I had for today, guys. Thank you so much.
Some folks have mentioned that Shaklee Difference, is it a brochure or something?
Yes, brochure.
Is it something new? It may be something I don't know about.
They redid it. It came out again in August.
Does anybody have an item code on that or anything?
I can get it for you in just a second. Hang on just a second.
I've got one right here.
Okay.
It's 76625.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Okay, great. Yeah, I thought we were talking about one that I knew about, but
Yeah, we've had that before, but they
Yeah.
redid it. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Thanks a lot.
I think they redid it because Linda sent them emails and called them every day for a year because you couldn't read the writing. It was so little.
I did not.
Phyllis,
Hey,
I
you know,
I did. I just said it. It was a wonderful, wonderful little booklet, but there was all this white paper around tiny, tiny print, and I said, could you just not this is wonderful news. Could we not make it bigger?
So people could actually read it.
And the next printing. And so the next year, here this thing came and it's too big for an envelope. So what do you do? That is somebody else's complaint. That is not my complaint.
Linda's not griping about that one, huh?
We were talking
that's
earlier
funny.
about finding a simple or way to tell about the Shaklee business. What I'm finding is my best tool is that Shaklee Dream Plan chart, I guess. You call it.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That is a busy chart, but I show that. In fact, I've got that with me most of the time. You can just show them just this corner here, the upper left corner. Let's just look at that. You start with that and you can work right across it. And I don't go all the way with it, but I just, and I really like that idea of showing what the average income, the lowest third and the upper third, and the average on each one of those to give people an idea of what we're talking about. But
and I like it that they've added the hours required a week to earn that too. I like that very much.
That's
People can make an informed decision that way.
Phyllis, I know we're keeping people that might have to get off, but I just wanted to say, since we were talking about Shaklee, when I spoke with my friend last week, I told her this story that Shaklee had told us about when they came out with the herbs, and some of the new people maybe haven't heard this, but they said they checked, health food stores and Walmart and drugstores and whatever, and some of the pills had none of the ingredients they said they had on the label. Some had way too many and some had way too little, and some pills had nothing that they said on the label in them. And they said you can be assured that every Shaklee product in every bottle has exactly what it says, and every single pill has exactly what it says on the label. So I shared that with her to let her know the difference, and I gave her that little book.
Yeah, that's really wonderful that we've got that information available to us.
Right.
Have you got time for just one quick little story that is really about what we're talking about?
Go ahead.
Some years ago, Anita and I had just not been in Shaklee very long. And one of our biggest products throughout the company was alfalfa. And the big thing about alfalfa is that it's raised with no pesticides, no herbicides, and all of that. And that was a great important thing for all of us. And we were building a lot of business with alfalfa. And then one fine day, alfalfa was not available to us again. And so we had to do without for quite a while. We went to the convention, and they told us the alfalfa story, that there was a field that some overspray or something had gotten near that, not on it necessarily, but just near it. So they just didn't use that alfalfa. And they told the people at that convention, I don't know how many thousand was there, that's why we were without alfalfa. And they got a standing ovation.
Yeah, because they really, that's an example of how picky they are.
Because it means something to us. We would rather not have something than to know that, and to know everything is good and safe.
Yeah. Great integrity.
So it was very impressive for us because we had lost business because that was not available. And
I was at that convention.
Oh, were you? Oh, wow. Well, I've heard people say that when that happened, they went to the grocery store or wherever and bought alfalfa, but they could
Oh, yeah.
sure tell it wasn't the same.
No, it didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't work. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I thought of one more thing I wanted to share. I'm going to share a screen with you just a second. I'm going to go back to our member center. And I wanted to just remind you guys, under those 4 squares there, we have these featured items. And one of them is our hotline news. And if you are not taking advantage of this free opportunity, I hope that you will, because the hotline CD is now actually online. And you could open it up and you can send anybody you want to any one of the segments. Maybe you don't think they'd be interested in all of them, but if there was a really good segment on some product or whatever, you can send that to them. So here's the one for March, and then here's the one for April, and you see how they're segmentized. You've got the different things, and so if you wanted to share something that Rick Seymour said, you can click on his, or if you want to talk about the youth or whatever. So I just wanted to remind you folks that we've got all these resources that are.
And where was it, Phyllis? I got distracted for a second. Where did you go to get to this page?
You're just on your front page.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting there, right back to the front page. And underneath those 4 boxes, the conference and the news.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's featured. It's right there, hotline, under the featured part.
Yes, I remember now. Thank you. I saw that before.
Yeah. Well, I just love because you can share it with people. It doesn't cost $4 for everybody you share it with. I just think that's great.
Exactly.
There's no postage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go to the post office.
Wonderful.
Before we had all this computer stuff, we used to use that little hotline tape. That thing is really valuable to us.
Yeah, it's very helpful. Okay, guys, I've kept you long, but it's been great talking to you, and I love your ideas and your enthusiasm, and I'm really eager to see people on Saturday. So thanks for all those that can come. We'll see you then.